News Radio 700 WLW.
Rock, the economy, we can't talk enough about it. Everybody's concerned about it.
Yeah,
it's up here, it's down there. It doesn't seem like these days it's anywhere in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah, up days, down days, everything.
Yeah.
But I guess according to a new Gallup poll, economic confidence improved in the month of July. Not that it's great, but it is improved. Now, what exactly does economic consumer confidence consist of? That's why we have our next guest.
Well, he is, we've had him on with us many times, a highly regarded economic strategist, a best-selling author. Dan Varroney, welcome back to the program.
Both of you, happy Monday.
Yeah, well, as good as it gets, Dan. So, buddy, and we'll also discuss your article, your op-ed that you posted in the Washington Examiner about the stuff that we maybe we're looking at the wrong stuff with the economy. But let's talk about the thing that Rock was just talking about here, that consumer confidence appears to be appear to be on the upswing.
You know, I love data. I even have an AI-driven economic data dashboard, and I look at stuff every day. And I was fascinated with this result. But I want to say it's an improvement in economic confidence. It's not a restoration of confidence. I think that we're all seeing some progress. Underlying inflation is cooling. Wages are beginning to beat inflation. Businesses are for sure investing. And we're starting to see some home prices coming down. But the challenge is that we all face $4 a gallon gasoline. Mm-hmm. There's accumulated price increases, borrowing still expensive. So those are the things that are, right there. But let me just talk a little bit more about the good news. Core inflation fell to 2.6. That's down from 2.9. Headline inflation fell from 4.2 down to 3.5, which is great. I talked about earnings are up. That's good. The biggest challenge is the price of gasoline.
And when it comes to consumer confidence, basically that's just, if you boil it down, it's are you comfortable with spending money? Are you comfortable opening up your wallet and buying that discretionary thing that you maybe don't need but you kind of want, versus if confidence is low, you kind of hold on to that money, correct?
Yes. Yep. So let me give you some data that supports that. So things like capital goods and durable goods, those are big ticket expenditures that we make. They can be dishwashers, they can be cars, they can be HVAC systems. So core capital goods orders rose by 0.9%. Shipments are up. Core capital goods shipments are up almost 2%. Durable goods shipments are up 0.7%. And I think this is really good news. So while consumers are still hesitant, businesses are not retreating. Core capital goods are telling us that companies are still buying and investing. This is all very good news.
Dan Varroney is our guest. And Dan, let's talk about that op-ed I mentioned. What do we tend to, well, we are all novice, obviously, but what do a lot of amateur economists look at? You say they're looking at the wrong figures. What should we be looking at?
So to me, it's the jobs numbers, and I'll tell you, I watch the business channels and I read all the business newspapers and such. And, when the jobs numbers came out, everybody was a little down. And I looked at the ADP private sector jobs numbers. So as you know, we've had several conversations, and I've just said a key signal is going to be not just jobs, but small business jobs. So what I did is I did a straight line from February to June of this year, and I saw that companies that employ fewer than 50 and fewer employees had hired 330,000 people. It's like, hello, that's a big number. And what that said to me is that hiring has begun, that small businesses, as usual, per history, are taking the lead in creating new jobs. So when I hear that, oh my God, jobs are weak, they're anemic, the economy's I'm like, well, no. What I do is I drill down on the data. I go 2 or 3 steps down. The fact that these small business jobs are being created is a very strong economic signal, something that should give us not just hope, but optimism that 6 to 12 months from now, the economy will be in much better shape and companies will be hiring at an even brisker pace.
Dan, where are these jobs being created, these small business jobs that you're referring to?
Interestingly enough, I'm seeing it in large part kind of sort of across the board. But, we've heard a lot about healthcare. But one of the things I'm struck by is sort of that in that shipping and logistics arena. I'm seeing it there. I'm seeing it in cybersecurity, and I'm seeing it in manufacturing. So when people say there are no manufacturing jobs being created, what those ADP private sector jobs are telling me is that there are manufacturing jobs being created in the small manufacturing companies.
And Dan, you mentioned really one of the things that's really keeping consumer confidence from being much higher is the price of gas, and that of course has to do with the Iran war, and it's a mess, right? It's a back and forth, and today we're going to bomb, tomorrow we're not going to bomb, and it's open, it's closed. Has anything happened here in America to help increase fuel production? It was always said that it was the refineries. They didn't have enough refineries. I think they're building one or a couple down in Brownsville, Texas. Has anything happened on the where we can create more of our own energy front?
So there's a few things. One is we can drill more in Alaska. There's plenty of oil. There's oil coming in substantially from Venezuela. The issue still remains refining. We need more refining capacity. That's coming online. The Trump administration, so for every new regulation introduced, the Trump administration is eliminating 10. And I think that is going to help get the refining capacity online sooner rather than later.
Dan Varroney's our guest. And Dan, that's following up on that. What are the refinery capacities of, say, Canada and Mexico? Because you never hear about that. You only hear about ours and how we're kind of lacking.
Well, I would tell you that Canada's in pretty good shape from a refining perspective. And I can't speak much to Mexico, but Canada's got some good refining capacity as well. But I think what the president is intending to do is he really wants the oil value chain to be rock solid here in the domestic arena. And he believes that will make the supply chain a lot safer and a lot more secure and stable for, prevented from any future disruptions. And I think that's the right way to look at it.
And Dan, moving on to another topic here, and I know that the stock market is not the economy, but I mean, what a wild month. I mean, it's literally day by day. It's up one day, down the next day, up one day, down the next day. What is the cause for just the volatility of the ups and the downs?
So a few things. Lately, there's been a look at tech and how well tech is or isn't performing, and AI. So when people think about AI, there have been substantial investments in AI, and the question is now, is AI going to pay off? And what I will tell you is I think that sometimes markets sort of freak out too soon. And what I mean by that is that just because you make the investment today or even 6 months ago doesn't mean you're going to make magic that minute, right? And I think that sometimes markets just need to chill a bit and to let the marketplace, meaning let companies make, now that they make the investment, let them make the implementation and make their magic happen.
Well, and that's what a lot of folks talk about, the AI bubble, right? Kind of like the dot-com bubble where everyone and their brother got a website 25 years ago and all this business, all these expectations, and it kind of fell flat, and people will talk about possibly the same thing with AI. There's all this promise, and I think everyone agrees or understands the immense capabilities, but is it ready yet? Is it ready right now? I think that's the question. What's your thoughts on this AI bubble?
So I think it's readier, and I'm hearing of fairly wide-scale implementation at small, medium, and large companies. Why I'm excited by it is productivity. So everybody asks me, Dan, what's the key driver of economic growth? What's that one thing that's the rising tide that lifts all boats? It's productivity. The more we increase productivity, the more wages increase, the more the quality of life for every American increases as well. AI is going to deliver on that promise of productivity. You know what else productivity does? Listen closely, guys. It lowers inflation. The stronger your productivity, the more it lowers inflation. So that's why I'm bullish about AI for that reason.
Dan Varroney is our guest, and Dan, in your opinion, then, have we even seen a small percentage of the impact that AI is going to have on the economy?
We haven't. We've seen a small percentage, not the full percentage as yet. But I'm telling you that when it does, we are going to have massive productivity improvements. Like I think 12, 18, 24 months from now, we'll see productivity that we never dreamed of.
Wow. Well, we can only hope. Dan Varroney, we always appreciate it. People want to find out more about you. Where can they go?
They can go to danvarroney.com. And before you let me go, you didn't ask me what I thought the Fed's going to do on Wednesday.
Oh, well, you know what? Well, please.
Dan, what do you think the Fed's going to do on Wednesday?
So I think that tomorrow and Wednesday morning, they're going to have a very lively debate. And I think that Chair Kevin Warsh is going to prevail upon them to hold the line and keep rates steady until the 5 test groups that he's assigned come back with more information. He is a data-driven guy, and he believes we act on what we know, not what we think. And I think rates will hold steady.
All right.
That's not going to, Trump's not going to be happy about that, right? He thinks they should be lower, and that would help with decrease inflation, right? That's kind of his philosophy.
So the big thing is I think that the economy is in a massive transition, and it's moving faster than we even understand. And when you think of what Alan Greenspan did in the 1990s, is he built what was a 25-year durable economy and delivered a lot of growth and a higher standard of living. What Kevin Warsh is trying to do is to understand how many changes are happening, how we're counting, how we're collecting data, and then come up with something that's more modern that will launch the economy into another 25-year cycle of prosperity.
All right. Well, Dan, you're a go-to guy. I'm sure we'll be talking to you here in the next week or so. Thanks so much, buddy.
I'm hoping so. Thanks. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Take care,
Dan.
Dan Varroney.